I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Always appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not here for a long time today. I'm here for a good time, or at least I'm here for a spicy time, because I heard the comments of Todd Bowles, the head football coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which happens to be the team that I root for in the NFL. If you ask me who I was rooting for as a fan, I would tell you that I'm a Buccaneers fan. And so the idea that the Buccaneers have a black head coach is not only comforting to me, but the fact that they have a black head coach who's in charge of a team that actually is equipped and fitted to win and win big is something that I don't take lightly. So many times, black head coaches don't get to call their shot. And that's, by the way, that's at all levels. Most black head coaches don't get the opportunity to cherry pick their spot. They have to find a place that's willing to accept them, allow them to be them, allow them to build a culture out of either nothing or out of something that is severely damaged. And then they're put on a timetable or a leash that's shorter than their white counterparts. This is not me making it up. The statistics bear it out. Black coaches get less time in positions than white coaches. If you're talking about the NFL, outside of the run that Marvin Lewis had as a head coach and this run that Mike Tomlin is on in Pittsburgh, what other black head coach have you seen get a long runway? What other black head coaches have you seen get second opportunities? Todd Bowles is one of the few. And the only reason he was able to get that second opportunity, honestly, is because he was handpicked to take the spot when the head coach stepped down, when Coach Arians stepped down. Because Coach Arians cared about diversity. He knew, for all the things that I have against Coach Arians, right? Against BA, and definitely against his son, who I think is a tool. But one thing I can't take away from him is when you looked at his staff represented diversity. His staff represented, I want other people to be able to open the door, and so then hopefully they open the door for other people. That's what he seemed, even if he's not about it. That's what it said when I looked at his coaching staff. So now, when I get a chance to look at Todd Bowles, and Todd Bowles comes on and he is asked about race, and I don't want to get it wrong, right? I don't want to get it wrong. So I want to go to where he was asked about it and let you guys hear it for yourselves, because again, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to be accused of taking pieces. I want to give you the full context of what was said, and then I'm going to tell you why I find so much offense with it. So here is Todd Bowles being asked about, representation in coaching and what he thinks about it.
You and Mike Tomlin are two of the few black head coaches in the league. I wonder what your relationship is like with them and your thoughts on Steve Wilks joining that fold.
I have a very good relationship with Tomlin. We don't look at what color we are when we coach against each other. We just know each other. I have a lot of very good white friends that coach in this league as well, and I don't think it's a big deal as far as us coaching against each other. I think it's normal. Wilks got an opportunity to do a good job. Hopefully he does it. And we coach ball. We don't look at color.
but you also understand that representation matters too, right? And that when young aspiring coaches or even football players, they see you guys, they see someone that looks like them, maybe grew up like them, that has to mean something.
Well, when you say you see you guys and look like them and grow up like them, means that we're oddballs to begin with. And I think the minute you guys stop making a big deal about it, everybody else will as well.
You and Mike Tomlin are two of the few black head coaches in the league. I wonder what your relationship
And,
is like
and
with
that's
them and your thoughts on Steve
that
Wilks
is
joining
what
that
was
fold.
said by
I have a very good relationship.
head coach Todd Bowles. Now, his voice aside, he said some things that it just really rubbed me the wrong way. First off, he said, and he doubled down on it, he said it twice, when I get together with Coach Tomlin, we don't look at race, or we don't look at color when we're coaching. Nobody looks at color while they're coaching, my guy. But if I am a black man and I coach high school level, but if I am a black man and I look across and I see another black man across from me at the high school level, it still triggers me to go like, okay, that's what's up. So you're telling me that at the highest level that you can do this thing at football, it doesn't at least resonate to you that the two black head coaches in the league, where there's only 3 black head coaches, 4, because Mike McDaniel is a black man down in Miami, in a league with very few black head coaches, you're telling me it doesn't resonate with you when you look across and see another black man? You don't think about color? We don't look at color? Number one, why would you ever speak for other people? I try not to, unless I absolutely positively know. And guess what I know? We look at color. Even when we don't look at color, we look at color. Even when we don't look at color, we look at color. I, for all of the things that we have, for all of the reasons that black people have to have an inquisitive eye at white people, for the ways we've been treated, for the ways our people have been treated, for the systemic racism that we have suffered through for years upon years upon years. We have a reason to look with an inquisitive eye, and yet we as black people keep opening ourselves up and saying, you know what, it's okay. We'll just be accepting. I just think it's one of those things that I really just don't understand. Like we come from love, and so we try to produce love. But man, it's so refreshing to see Todd Bowles not just get a head coaching job, because that's important, but not as important. But for him to get a head coaching job where he has all the tools to be successful. In other words, he gets put into a position to be successful the same way that his white counterparts get into a position to have the tools to be successful. That's ideal. We don't get ideal very often. So when people ask you about, hey, when people look up and they see you, you don't think that inspires them? For him to not even acknowledge as if it's a thing, it's damaging, man. It says that we're so, and then to go as far as to then add, well, I have white friends who coach as well. Well, nobody asked you about that. That's not what we were saying. Of course you have white friends that coach. That's the point. The point is that there are white people all over the place doing this job. You know what they're not a lot of? There are not a lot of black head coaches in the NFL. There are not a lot of black head coaches in FBS football. There are not a lot of black head coaches outside of HBCUs in FCS football. There are not a lot of black head coaches in D2 football outside of head coaches. If you go down to D3, even less. If you go to NAIA, even less. Representation matters. And until we start having the black men out here stand up and ride for black men, if the black men are not going to ride for the black men in the position, if women won't ride for women, right? If women won't ride for women, why should we ride for women? That's the mantra, right? When we talk about the WNBA, the blowback that we get is, listen, women don't watch the NBA. So why should men be the ones carrying the flag when women don't watch the NBA? And my response is, you're right. But I love the WNBA. So I'm going to rock for it. You're right. Women should be at WNBA games if they're going to complain about women's wages. But I can complain because I watch it. I don't have to wait for them to rock. But man, it sure would be nice for them to rock with them. You know what? I don't have to wait for Todd Bowles and for Mike Tomlin to uplift and motivate and be the strong black male figures who lead men of all colors, who step out and say, there are more guys like me who can do this job. I don't need for them to wait. I don't need to wait for them to do it. But man, it sure would be nice, Todd Bowles. You got absolutely screwed in New York when you were the head coach of the Jets. You took over a trash can. You made it respectable, and then they got you out of there and got another guy in there. They got you out of there prematurely, got another guy in there. Now you get a second chance in an ideal situation where now you have the tools to be successful. Even if the quarterback retires, you have the opportunity and the means to be able to pluck and put another guy who's going to want to come in with that roster. Or you can have a young guy come in apprentice, get him ready to go. You have a built-in opportunity to be 10 plus years as a head coach at an NFL team, and that is unheard of, especially for black guys not named Mike Tomlin. And your response is that we don't look at color? Well, the way you say it makes us oddballs, and that's the problem from the beginning. We are oddballs. Just by sheer numbers, we're oddballs. So if you won't rock with us, if you won't push it forward, then that gives all the ammunition for people to go, this is overblown. Even the head coaches in positions say that this is overblown. No, it's not overblown. It is right where it should be. Unadulterated fact. We are not represented enough. Not enough. And will not be represented enough until people like Todd Bowles starts to stand up and go, hey, we can do this job. It's more than just me and Mike Tomlin and Wilkes and Lovey out here. It's more than just us. There are other people who can do the job. We need to see them get hired. I just can't believe that a black man who has sat and firsthand saw the level of oppression when it came to this position at that level can let it come out of his mouth that they don't look at color. Even if that's not what he meant, he's got to choose his words more wisely. Man, I was so disappointed. I was disappointed. Am I going to now not root for the Buccaneers? No, I'm not going to do that. Am I now going to disavow Todd Bowles? No, I still think Todd Bowles is a great coach, a great leader of men. But man, this hurts. It hurts. It's not just like disappointing. It hurts because he's there. Rob, just for once, when somebody asks you a question about black men, and rock, when you get an opportunity to ride and rock for black men, just stand up and rock for us, my guy. It's okay. It's okay to just rock for us. If you're a black man, it's okay to ride for black men. I don't know why it's hard. It's okay to bring color into it. No, you're not pulling the race card. No, you're not. Don't let people fool you into this strange narrative of if you talk about being black and how you haven't had because you're black that you're pulling the race card. There's no such thing as pulling the race card. You know who never says you're pulling the race card? The lesser race, the race that's not the one. I mean, the race that's the one being oppressed. They never say you're pulling. They never accuse white people of pulling a race card. Why? Because there's no race card for them to pull. They got it. They've got it already. Man, that was hurtful. As I get ready for a big game tonight, in my thought processes, as I assist a head coach who's a black man, and I look at his staff who has other black men in prominent positions, and I look across the way and I see a lot of white guys and some black men not in prominent positions, man, it feels good. It feels good. And it doesn't matter about the outcome of the game. It matters about representation. And if I feel it on this level, he sure as hell feels it on that level. Why he's lying, I have no clue. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Like, subscribe. Till next time. Peace.